YouTube, what is up? It is your boy Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com. And in today's college football 25 video, I want to talk about one of my favorite lockdown coverage defenses in the game that is extremely underrated, one not too many people use, and that is the cover 3 match. Cover 3 match is honestly one of the best coverages in this game. It defends a lot of the more popular offensive plays, route combos, formations you see online. Very good, and you can use it from many different defensive formations and pretty much any defensive playbook. So, for the purposes of this video, I picked Alabama's playbook, which is 4-5 based, and we're going to look at how it defends the trips, corner routes, verticals, pretty much the most common things you see online. So, we're going to start off here with corner route concepts. We're going to pick the play PA slot corner, which is one of the best plays, honestly, in the game. Now, you guys can see we have a play here from nickel double mug, cover 3 match. You know, we can utilize this, or just really any formation that has a cover 3 match, we can use. So, as far as your coaching adjustments, you're just going to want auto flip on. I typically like to use this coverage from nickel formations. So, I want the nickel cornerback to basically always be on the strong side of the offensive formation. So, you know, if there's a trips, on one side, I want the nickel corner over there. Past that, you know, I do like the option read and pitch keys on conservative. That does help if they run the option plays. And the most important thing is just to make sure your zone drops are set to default. If they're not on default, this is essentially going to turn your match coverage off, and then this is going to turn into cover 3 zone drop, which is not good. So let's just take a look at how this works again. I'm going to pick the nickel 3-3 mint, play cover 3 match. Now, guys, I do free college football 25 videos on a daily basis on my channel, tips and gameplays. So if you're new to the channel, you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, drop me a like, comment on the video. I also have a second channel for college football 25 that's listed in the description in the comments if you want even more content. And we will be dropping videos for Madden 25 as well when it drops. So, some of the most common things you see on this game are plays like this with corners. You know, corners are really, really good on this game. Trips tight end is probably one of the most popular formations on this game, especially the one out of Alabama playbook. It's very, very hard to defend. It has bombs, it has corners, posts, vertical seam routes, flats, like everything you need, and it has good runs and RPOs. So typically, guys, when I pick this play cover 3 match, I want to control the hook curl basically on the backside, The reason for this is, say that the trips is on the left. I want to control the hook curl on the right. Because the hook curl on the right, just, you know, on the weak side of the trips, or say the weak side of a bunch, it's kind of the weak point of the defense. The seam flats and then even the hook curl on the strong side, they do a pretty good job in matching. Zone drop is really bad on this game, meaning if you're just in a cover 3 sky, cover 3 hard flat, or a cover 4, you know, whatever drop, zone drop, it's bad. But you'll notice that these seam flats and hook curls, they actually do a really good job of matching corners and posts. So let me just, you know, run this play once or twice, show you guys what I mean. You can see there's really nothing open. So if you take a look at the replay here, you'll see that, you know, my hook curl ended up matching the corner route, and my, you know, little seam, it actually matched the post. And then over here, you know, this got matched pretty much by the deep zone corner route to the tight end. I honestly didn't have any responsibility. But what I normally would be looking for with my user is like a deep crosser, post, you know, something over the middle of the field that can actually beat this coverage. Like I said, not going to say there's no way to beat this coverage, but it's very difficult. Now, you did see, I will admit, that this linebacker, he kind of got beat a little bit on the corner route because he's a slow linebacker. I mean, we can't really expect him to keep up. So, you know, knowing that, the best thing you can do is use a formation like this nickel 3-3 mint where you can summon the safeties at linebacker. That way, if we run this exact same play, you know, that was like a 97, 98 speed receiver running a corner, like a 79, I think, speed linebacker. Of course, he might beat him. But here, this is a pretty even matchup. Now, watch the difference here. Same play, same defense. Again, I'm just controlling the weak side, backside, really, hook curl. Watch how the hook curl by the safety plays it this time. Completely cages it. There's no separation whatsoever. If you try to throw this, you're getting completely caged. This is one of my favorite defenses to use against trips tight end and trips in general on this game, is these trips cover 3 match against trips. Now, just to show you guys, you cannot shade. One of the keys to using this defense, do not shade your coverage. Do not shade your coverage and don't have zone drops. Because if you shade your coverage up or down, it's turning this into zone drop. It's turning off match and making this zone drop. Now watch what happens. Because I shaded my coverage, there's no matching anymore, and these corners and posts are getting wide open, and that's because there is no match. You cannot shade. That's a critical mistake people make. You cannot shade your coverage when you're in cover 3 match. Now, another play people like to use a lot, is verticals. I mean, if you play this game at all, you know verticals is one of the best and most popular plays in the whole game. You see it all day long, especially from trips tight end. So, verticals is good because you have a seam route, corner route, and a deep crosser. So let's watch how this coverage plays this play. This coverage will do a pretty good job, but again, remember, you're on this backside curl, hook curl. If you see any deep crossers coming over the middle, that's kind of going to be something you're going to want to watch, which you do have on this play. So I'm going to watch that deep crosser area myself. As you can see, bam, he broke a sack, but there is nothing open. Let's take a look at a replay. Now, obviously, keep in mind, Milrow has the ability to break sacks, but watch this. So, again, you'll notice that this seam flat, it matched the seam. So no longer can you just fire that seam route in there like a lot of people do when you're in zone, because it's matched. Now over here, this corner route to the tight end, it got matched initially, and so did this crosser. The thing is like I said, sometimes the deep crossers get let go. That's the biggest weakness. So that's why I was running with it, because again, you guys can see, look, the hook curl lets it go once it gets into my area. Now that's my job, okay? Now over here, you're seeing this tight end is bracketed. It was initially matched, right about here, it's being matched. Then we have, basically just bracketed over top and underneath by 2 defenders. You can't really throw that. And that is why this crosser is the weakness of this coverage, because this deep zone is clearly sitting down underneath for the corner out. If they have a fast receiver here and a good quarterback, they could bomb this over the top once this hook curl lets him go, which is why you got to run with it yourself. You do that, though, you guys can see there's nothing open. Now, keep in mind, this is a 4-man rush, right? 4-man rush, we do get, with a decent line, some pretty decent sheds. He should have been sacked at this point. But because he broke the sack, the play extended, and, we got to the sack later. Now, I will tell you guys, the 3-3 mint has some of the best blitzes in the game. You can run A-gaps, only rushing 4. If you want that, I have my full 3-3 mint breakdown on sportsgamers.com. Check that out. The link to the VIP membership is listed in the comments and the description. All right, guys, I want to show you one more route combo that's actually going to bring in a corner flat. So far I've been trying to, abuse, crossing routes, posts, seams, and corners. Well, what if someone actually used a play that attacked the flats in the corner? That's going to be a little bit different, and the flats are another area of the field you as the user are going to want to be aware of. So, let's say that they pick the play, let's just go back to PA slot corner, and we're going to get in the same cover 3 match. So, here, the only thing I'm going to do differently is I'm going to send the running back out of the backfield on a flat. So, knowing this, again, your job as the user would be actually, believe it or not, to watch the running back out of the backfield. If, he released directly into the flat, you'd want to watch that, because if you don't, take a look what happens. If you don't, they can just chuck that down there and get 5 or 10 yards. Not the biggest deal in the world, but also, not something you really want to give up every play. So if I do see a corner flat combo, I know that the flats are kind of weak on this, and that's be my responsibility, right? So I can take that away. Your other option would be, if you didn't want to have to use that yourself, go ahead and put the defender that's blitzing, the outside linebacker, put him in a hard flat. This way, you don't have to watch that yourself. The only thing with doing this is now you're rushing 3 instead of 4. When you rush 3 instead of 4, you just don't get as much pressure. As you guys can see here, I have a little bit more time. But it does take the responsibility of the flat away from your user so that you can still pay more attention to the deep middle. Overall, I would say that one of the biggest weaknesses of this defense is somebody that will continuously just throw to the flats over and over again. But you guys can see there are pretty easy ways to take that away, either being aware of it yourself or putting the outside linebacker that is blitzing into a hard flat assignment. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you play anybody who's spamming trips, even bunch on you, loving the verticals plays, the crossers, the corners, give this defense a try. There's definitely ways to beat it, but it also is very, very effective, especially against this formation on this game.